Bro, what are you doing with your life, bro? What do you like? I thought you said you want to be great. I thought you said you want to be the best, but you don't act like you don't move like it. You wake up late, you sleep late, you don't study, you don't work out, you don't want this, and no one's gonna feel sorry for you when you don't get it. That's your problem.
You want to live a good life? Yes. I like to drink. I like to eat burger. Okay. You're going to pay the bill in the future.
You want to become best. You want to become champion. And now you want to say like you tired? Who cares? You tired or not? Nobody care about you. Even you, if you're going to watch fight, you just watch fight. They walk out inside the cage, they fight, and they leave. You don't know what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
This is not your business. Nobody care about this.
Yeah.
He was tired. He have personal problem, family. Nobody
cares.
You don't know. Like you just see how he fight and he go.
Yeah.
And for this one, you have to train so hard. There is always gonna be champions. With your name, this is your choice.
Yeah.
You wanna put your name there? Okay, work hard. No. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Sun don't stop for nobody, man. Sun don't stop. Sun gonna be up in the morning regardless. That sun is gonna be up in the morning regardless of how I feel and how depressed I am. The sun is gonna shine in the morning, and at nighttime the moon gonna be there, and you gonna look up. These days gonna keep going by. So do you let the days go by and look up, and you done wasted a year doing what? Or do you just pick it up? All right, well, gotta figure it out. Made some mistakes. Life goes on. Let me figure out life from this point.
Life isn't fair at all. At all. So what are you going to do about it? I knew that no one was coming back to help me. No one was going to miracle me to be somebody special. Everybody that called me, my dad, my mom, all my situations were on me now. And solely on me.
The fact is that the more responsibility that you take on, the more in control you feel. And the more you feel in control, the greater freedom you experience, especially in your own mind. When you feel completely free, you make better decisions and you do more of the things that you really want to do. Fully 99% of all our difficulties and problems exist only because we are able to blame someone or something else for them. The instant that you stop blaming, your negative emotions begin disappearing. What is the antidote to blaming? It's simple. Since your mind can only hold one thought at a time, either positive or negative, you can override all your negative emotions, eliminate the tendency to blame and become angry, simply by saying the words firmly, I am responsible.
Where you are in life right now is exactly where you chose to be, whether you believe it or not, whether you accept it or not. That is the reality of the situation. There's a plethora of opportunity, access, and information out there for you to become successful, for you to build the life that you want. Oh yeah, but my life, my parents, third world country. I'm from a third world country. Look at me now. What? You can't do it. Who's holding you back? The system, the man, the woman, the ideology, the culture? All that stuff, bro. If you want to become a high-tier individual and if you want to live life on your own terms and be the wielder of your future, the main character of your life, then you need to start moving with intention. You need to start moving and operating with a lot of power. You need to move as if you own this place. And you will, because if somebody else was able to do it and somebody else was able to be successful in the past, why can't you be that person? So where you are right now in life, whether you believe it or not, is where you chose to be. And that is the truth. So ladies and gentlemen, where do you want to be?
You know, we're all writing a book. What's your book look like? What does your book look like? Like your life is a book. You got a bunch of chapters in your book, but when they close that book, how good was the book?
It's always been inside of you trying to come out, but you've never wanted to unwrap it because it's too much pain and commitment. You were scared you were going to fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it until something hits. You get fired or somebody else gets success, remind you of what you could have been. And then the spark is born. But now it's getting hard and you're wondering if you've got the nuts to ride it all the way through. What you're wondering right there, that weak mentality, is the old you coming back. Don't listen to that. You've got to sideline those thoughts. Kick the neighbor out. Don't let him in your house. Get rid of all these weaknesses. Accept the journey at hand, knowing it's going to be tremendous. But with tremendous effort comes tremendous reward. It's a worthy cause you're on right now. You're not telling me what it is. I think that's a mistake too. You should tell everybody what it is. Let everybody know what's weak about you. Because that's not who you are anymore. Just by saying it. It's right there. You're publicly saying, I'm better than this. I want to move on. I'm not scared of this. This thing is no longer going to be a handicap for me. I'm no longer going to be the servant of it. I'm not going to be the victim anymore. I'm going to identify the problem solve, fix it. Whatever it takes, and override it.
What's more important, technique or attitude?
Attitude comes first. We got to have guys that are going to believe in our mission. They're going to believe in what we want to do. Once they believe, then we can teach them the technique. It all starts with our mindset.
So they sent me to Johns Hopkins. Everybody studied my body. They studied everything. And one guy said, you know what? We can't find anything on how you did all this. How are you able to do all this? A head guy came in from MIT. And he said, you know how he did it?
You know, it's the big challenge. It's when you're not willing to do something, but you have to do it. This is the main point. This is why I say our mind, it's a box of surprises, and you have to challenge yourself to
be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no, wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster. And then you should learn how to control it.
There is no excuse for not being the hardest worker. Yeah, someone might be bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, younger, whatever else. But there is no excuse to not be the hardest worker there. And when you believe that you have the ability to do something, that the life that you're living right now is going down this direction, you hate where it is. There is nothing else to do but to change direction. A belief that I cannot go that way anymore. I gotta go this way. And what do you have to lose? You know the outcome if you continue the same. Why not just commit one time in your life to something? See what happens. There are no losers in the world of passion and commitment to something. No one loses there. The losers are the people that sit the starting line and never initiate.
So it really was a decision that I had to make for myself. And the framework I found, which made the decision incredibly easy, was what I called, which only a nerd would call, a regret minimization framework. So I wanted to project myself forward to age 80 and say, okay, now I'm looking back on my life. I want to have minimized the number of regrets I have. And, you know, I knew that when I was 80, I was not going to regret having tried this. I was not going to regret having wanted, you know, trying to participate in this thing called the internet that I thought was going to be a really big deal. I knew that if I failed, I wouldn't regret that. But I knew the one thing I might regret is not ever having tried.
Tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times.
You want to know if you're talking about young men that might not have any direction right now? Go do something that's hard. Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail. I'll tell you what, you'll be better. If you avoid those things that are hard, if you don't accept that challenge, if you don't step up and step into that cold water, and you sit on your couch and eat Doritos, I can tell you this is not a good move. This is not a good move. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just get up, move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it. And you may be successful and you may not be successful, but you will be better. And the next challenge, you're going to be more prepared for. And the next challenge after that, you're going to be even more prepared for. And you're going to fail, 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 and then you're going to win. And that's life. Life without those challenges, it's just existence. Don't just exist. Go live.
Go. Go. Yep. It's you when all that fear that's in your head, all the what ifs and the scenarios that you create inside your own mind that are way worse than anything that is actually going to happen, they all disappear when you go. So just take action.
How do I, like, stand out?
Be you, bro. Be you.
You need to be you.
Doesn't matter if the people like or not. You have to be yourself.
See, I'm crazy. I be thinking, yep. I was crazy enough to believe what I was saying gonna happen was gonna happen. And that's why I was persistent enough and consistent enough to exist now. When I'm coming up, it's like, yo, who won him? Like, who he with? Me. By myself now. I wanted to.
I don't look like the sheep. All right? I'm me. I want to wear an old black felt hat. I do. I want a beard. I grow it.
I can look directly into my face and find my soul. It's there. It's not sold. I didn't sell it. It's still within me. I still feel it. My heart is still connected to my body.
Everybody would love to be able to be themselves, but they can't because they must fall in line with the person in front of them.
A lot of people, black, white, Mexican, young or old, fat or skinny, have a problem being true to themselves. They have a problem looking in the mirror and looking directly into their own souls.
You want to live that kind of life? I wish you the best. I'll be on the other side somewhere,
I think a lot of times folks, especially young folks who I tend to empathize with and speak to more often, they're not comfortable because they're going along with the society that's around them and they're trying to fit in the framework of what everyone around them or on whatever social media they're on says that they should be, how they should look, how they should conduct themselves.
I mean, we live in a society where a lot of people are followers and they can't, make their set opinions. Like I have friends going to college for stuff that their parents want them to go for and they're not even happy or anything, but they're just trying to please them. And in the long run, what's going to be there? Your parents die and you're just stuck there, like paying debt for something that you didn't even want to learn in the first place. So I just try to tell people to just think for themselves and they'll be way happier in the long run.
There needs to be some period in your day where you remember that there's a world out there trying to tell you who you are, and there's a world in here that's trying to tell you who you are. Now, where do you want to put your eggs? Because the world outside is very noisy and very tempting, and has all the razzmatazz, has all the tinsel and all the glitter. It's got all the toys. But that's because you don't think you're enough in the first place. If you don't think you're enough in the first place, the whole idea of the world to sell you stuff is, first of all, they have to make you feel bad about yourself, less than in some way.
And as you get older, you accumulate the voices of your parents, your teachers, your peers, the culture at large, and it drowns it out. You can't hear yourself anymore. You can't hear that impulse voice of what makes you an individual, of what makes you different, of what you love. So you have to understand that you're cutting through this vast cloud of smoke, this screen that has been put in front of you that is preventing you from understanding yourself. So you have to look inward, and it takes time. It is a process like everything else.
So the world will try and tell you who you are, and you have to tell yourself who you are. And there's this ongoing battle. And somehow there needs to be a reconciliation between the two. But in the end, you've got to have all the eggs in your basket.
I had to stop giving a about people. That was the biggest thing. I had to stop caring what people thought about me. I realized that everybody's up. That's the one thing I realized. I walked around and I put these people on a pedestal.
pedestal. Everybody was better than me. So I can't tell you anything about me because you're going to judge me and I'm going to feel even worse than what I am. What I realized, once I calmed my mind down and sat back and looked at how jacked up this world is, once you realize that you are not alone, everybody that's talking to you about how jacked up you are, only thing they've done better than you is they've hidden their up world better than you have. That's all they've done. So once I realized that, if you want to sit back, like for instance, there's all these things that are on TV and we have all these news people judging people who up in life. And yeah, they made big mistakes. But that person who is judging you on TV, I guarantee you that news person is saying, I'm glad that my didn't come out, but I'm going to judge the hell out of you. I know that about people. So if you want to sit back and judge how jacked up I was and how messed up my life was, Merry Christmas, go for it. Have a good time. But I'm smiling at you right now, knowing you have a secret that you're not willing to share. It gives you a lot of power when you're able to go on a podcast this big and say, hey, tell me, I'll tell you anything you want to know, because I no longer care. And that is a lot of power in that, to be able to put your life on a billboard for the whole world to see and say, judge it, man. When you are willing to talk about how jacked up you are, the strength, that big rock that you carry, it just starts to come off you. It just starts to come off. That's why I do it so often. I'm like, hey, man, I'll tell you anything you want to know.
It's not a bad thing to be unique. It's not a bad thing to be different. It's not a bad thing to be comfortable with yourself, regardless of what everybody else around you is doing.
If you can be authentically yourself with another person, then you're going to feel their love. Like, that's what I mean about the devil, is the idea that, like, if I just show my partner the best parts of myself and I don't admit to them or let's share with them the things I'm afraid of, the shit I need to work on, all that kind of stuff, then I'm never going to feel their love, because they don't love me. Like, they love the character I'm playing. Like, they love the persona that I've developed in this relationship, and I'll never feel their love, you know? Whereas if I'm brave enough to share with this person the parts of me that I don't understand, I'm afraid of, I'm unhappy with, I'm ashamed of, and they love me anyway, like, then I'm going to really feel that love. And that love can be a transformative kind of love. Like, that's a love worth having, you know?
Be you. Be you, okay? Don't let social media and culture and television and media tell you how you should be and what you should be and who you should be.
There's the you that you want people to think you are, and there's the you who you are, and trying to figure out, like, how do I figure out who I am? Like, do I have a correct assumption of how the people are perceiving me and how I actually am objectively, or am I bullshit world with this suit and pocket square?
Yeah, I would say it's exactly the scenario that we're talking about. There's essentially only two worlds. There's the inner world of energy and there's the outer world of energy. There's two identities. One's real, one's false. The external world is, I'm asking you to tell me who I am. That's what we're all playing at. And as soon as you start playing that game, we run into all sorts of trouble. Call it the ego, call it whatever you want to call it. But that's the dynamic that we're in. And somehow we have to give ourselves enough confidence to reassure ourselves that we are enough.
You can't be comfortable with yourself if you don't know who yourself is. What makes you uniquely you?
Everybody shines in different things.
There's musical intelligence, pattern intelligence, mathematical intelligence. There's social intelligence. There's kinetic intelligence, which has to do with the body and movement. There are 5 of them. I don't remember all of them. Yeah. You have one of them. There's one of them that's stronger than the others, right? It's where your brain naturally gravitates towards. And if you don't have the right fit, if you're launch your career, you go into law because you think it's going to be making a lot of money, but in fact, your brain and your that seed was made for something else, you're going to end up hitting a wall at some point. You're going to be burning yourself out, and your life will take bad turns, and things will, you will never reach the goals that you want.
And a lot of things I can't do. I can't play basketball like every other black person in America, but I can act. I know how to go to that true spot in myself because I'm there every day. I can be me. I can be whoever because I'm true to me. I can go to neutral easily.
You are a true individual, right? And that spark, that individuality is, I would compare to like a seed, right? It's been planted in you. And your destiny, your fate in life is to know what that seed is, to know who you are, what makes you different from everybody else, and to cultivate it.
What do you want to be? What do you want to do? How does that look like? You got to have in order. Plans, goals, destinies, journeys. Go home, shut your phone off, shut the TVs off, shut the world off, and tune into you. The biggest advice is shut off your phones, shut off all technology, find a dark, quiet place for you to think. You have to think first. And then when you think, you have to think, okay, what's my purpose in life? But you have to quiet the noise. The world's moving too fast right now. You have to stop it and say, what am I all about and where am I going? But it takes being raw and real with yourself.
Once you have the passion, the thing that you're passionate about now, you can be yourself. That's it. Be you. Be you. There's no gimmick. You don't have to contrive anything. Who are you? Where are you today? What is your story? Where does that come from?
What makes you uniquely you?
It's never been easier to be successful than it is today. It's just also never been easier to be distracted.
People get worried about dying and no longer being here, but they don't realize that so much of their life is spent not being here in any case.
Far too often, people focus all of their energy and their attention on their future happiness and forget to enjoy the present moment.
The main part of people's attention is there, but in the meantime, they are here, where they don't really want to be.
Or they're stuck in the past, reliving old victories or nursing old wounds that prevent them from making the most of where they are right now.
A lot of times people are in conversations or they're somewhere, they're elsewhere. You may think they're with you, but they're not.
If they walk in the street and they're not really there in their mind thinking about all kinds of things except where they are, and so they're not here.
When you work, work. When you play, play. Don't mix the two. Don't work at play. I used to take my family to the beach and I would bring my briefcase. Or at the beach, I'm saying I should be at the office. I should be at the office. Now my family's upset because I'm at the beach and I'm thinking office, office, office. Now when I'm at the office, I'm thinking what? I got to get my family to the beach, the beach, the beach. So things are not going too well at the office because I'm thinking beach, and things are not going too well at the beach because I'm thinking office. Here's what I learned to do. At the beach, be at the beach. At the office, be at the office. When you work, work. When you play, play. Don't mix the two.
In each moment, the thing matters. In each moment, it's the only thing that matters, actually. What's happening in front of you literally has all the meaning in the world. And so what matters is just being present for the thing. So if you're doing something that you want to do and you're fully there for it, then it's not wasted time. If you don't want to do it and your mind is running away from it and you're reacting against it and you're wishing you were somewhere else and you're thinking about some other thing or you're anticipating some future thing or regretting some past thing or being fearful of something, then that's wasted time. That's time that's being wasted when you're not actually present for the reality in front of you.
Present moment is truly all we ever are able to experience. The truth is you can't actually live in the past or in the future. Those are just constructs of your mind. The only time you're ever able to experience your life is right now in this present moment. And the more time and energy you devote to fully experiencing and getting the most out of each moment right now, the more joyful and fulfilling your life will be.
Enjoy it. Make the best of it. You know, it's even briefer than that. Each moment just disappears. It's gone. There's only a present moment and it's gone instantly. So if you're not there for it, if you're stressed out or you're anxious or you're thinking about something else, you missed it. So any moment when you're not in that moment, you're dead to that moment.
Thinking is something different than experiencing, than sensing, than feeling life itself. Stop thinking too much. Don't go into the past. Don't go into the future. Be in the present. Why? Because only then it's possible that the mind is free The capacity is free, and now you can completely immerse into whatever you are doing. And this means you have arrived.
Life doesn't last forever. And if you spend all of your time looking forward to the future or back to the past, you never get the chance to fully appreciate the moment you're living right now.
You know, you are not your past. You're you. You're you right now. Like the past you did, you might have done some things you wish you hadn't done. Don't dwell on that. You learn from it, that's fine, but don't dwell on it. Just keep moving.
Past is past, it's never come again. The present, it's the best gift that we have in our life. The present. Because you don't know that what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know. I don't know. You don't know. So live the present.
I recognized, like in a moment, what detachment was and how helpful it was. And I'm standing in this skirmish line and I'm waiting for someone to make a call and tell us what to do. And I wait for 5 seconds and I wait for 10 seconds and I wait for 20 seconds and no one's saying anything. And finally, after like 30 seconds, which seems like an eternity, I can't take it anymore. I look to my left, I look to my right. I can see the whole scene and I can see exactly what it is we need to do. And I open my mouth and I say, hold left, clear right. Everyone just repeats the call. Hold left, clear right, hold left, clear right. The platoon chief goes, hey, Jonko, good call. But then I thought to myself, hold on a second. Why? If I'm the youngest, most junior guy in this platoon, why was I able to see what we needed to do and make that call? Why did that just happen? And then I realized it was because I took a step back, which allowed me to think more clearly. And I realized that taking a step back and detaching, I got to see infinitely more than even the most experienced guys in my platoon. And then I started doing it like when I was having conversations with people. I'm having a conversation with my platoon chief and I can see that he's starting to turn a little red in the face and we're about to argue about something. I said, oh, wait a second. I'm taking a step back looking, going, he's getting mad right now and he's the platoon chief. You better just de-escalate this thing real quick. And I'd say, hey, you know what, chief, that sounds good. Let me go relook at the plan or whatever. And so I started to do this kind of with my normal life, was to not get wrapped up in my own emotions, but instead take a step back, detach, look around, and then you can make a much, much better decision.
You go into the witnessing mode. You look at it, so to speak, not necessarily visually, but you give it attention. This is a challenge. Instead of unconscious reactivity.
I get defensive. What am I going to do? I'm going to raise my hands up and put my chin down. That's like a fighting mode. So if you and I are having a discussion and I'm starting to get heated and I'm starting to like, oh, he's not listening to me. Instead of me putting my chin down and put my hands like up to where I can put them in your face a little bit. No, I'm actually going to take a step back. I'm going to say, put my chin up. It changes my perspective a little bit more. Changes my visual perspective, just by changing the angle of my head. Take a step back. Put my hands down. I'm not being in a defensive mood. I actually want to hear what you have to say. So those are some of the methodologies that I use and that I advise people to use in order to effectively start down the pathway of being able to detach in various scenarios.
And remind yourself that you want to remain present during the day. And a powerful way to do this is to look into your own eyes in the mirror and say out loud to yourself, today I'm choosing to stay present, to give my full attention to whoever or whatever is in front of me. I choose to be aware of my breathing and how I feel in my body, as well as the person or the task I'm engaged with. Develop a system for reminding yourself to come present throughout the day. This could include a reminder or an alarm on your smartphone to go off every 30 minutes throughout the day. And when you hear the alarm, to stop, take 5 deep, relaxing breaths. See if you can inhale and exhale to a slow count of 6. That'll give you a real deep breath. And then quickly scan your body from your head to your toes and notice what you're feeling.
That is a practice to get used to until it becomes second nature, to have your attention in the present moment rather than elsewhere.
Imagine that you're in a movie, and imagine the movie begins now, and you're the hero of the movie.
Yeah.
What would that guy do?
Yeah.
What would that guy do right now?
Yeah.
Because you are.
Love that frame. It's like, okay, boom, now you're present in your movie. What would that guy do? It's like,
You're living. That's it. Period.